Venerable Dr. Jigme Wangchuk Bhutiaji, please give your presentation. Yeah.
Kangi Tenjin Rajung, Gogba member, Gay member, Chatba member, Tag member, Honga member, Dro member, Tade Tenmin, Tenjikmin, Tuba Nirshi, Shidemba, Zobe Sange, Marnam Ge, Tamba, and then La Kyuchan. In the words of the Dalai Lama, I quote, "Peace does not mean an absence of conflicts. Differences will always be there. Peace means solving these differences through peaceful means, through dialogue, education, knowledge, and through human ways." I unquote. Toshidelek, Kuzuzangbo, and a very warm and hearty good afternoon to one and all present here today. Most respected moderator, Venerable Dr. Dhamma Piyaji, Secretary General, International Buddhist Confederation, IBC, Your Eminent Rinpoches, Venerable Mahasanghas, respected dignitaries, and my dear brothers and sisters. Beyond everything, I would like to thank Ministry of Culture, Government of India, and International Buddhist Confederation, IBC, for giving such a wonderful opportunity. And indeed, we are all so fortunate to have got such a beautiful platform. Thank you so much once again. It is my great pleasure to brief the august gathering on the session, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, his contribution towards global peace and continuity. To begin with, as Shantadeva said in both his Sattva-charya Avatara, there is nothing here that is not been said before, and I lack any skills in the art of composition. Therefore, I do not expect this to be of use to others, but write it only as an exercise for my mind. In this context, I will be speaking on the topic, His Holiness the Dalai Lama's Path to Selflessness. As everyone is well aware that amidst the widespread discontent of social disparity within Hindu religion, a new ideology arose between the late 6th century and the early 4th century BCE. This period is often referred to as the period of great social change and intense religious activity. Founded by one Siddhartha, a Hindu prince by birth, he, by the age of 29, had renounced his wealthy family life in search of the answer for human suffering. Having finally gained the state of awakening, after 6 years of perseverance, he began teaching. Siddhartha had thus become Buddha, and his teachings came to be known as Buddhism. There are tremendous and unthinkable teachings of Buddha, in numbers, if I may say, 84,000 of teachings, both in concise is presented with this stanza: not to commit a single unwholesome deeds, to accumulate merits, and completely tame your mind is the teaching of Buddha, as said in the Sutra of Pratimoksha, or individual liberation. The main reason for the rapid rise of Buddhism is attributed to its concept of oneness, compassion, and universal ethics. These form the backbone of human actions, governing his karmic deeds and eventual representation of his afterlife. The 20th and 21st century is a period reminiscent of human suffering and global catastrophes. The two world wars accounted to deaths of millions and rendered millions homeless. The atom bomb caused unimaginable devastation not only to humankind but also to living beings and environment. Mankind have been witnessing never-ending aggression and brutality in the name of development, global expansion and terrorism, leaving the world and its inhabitant on the brink of its extinction. It is therefore the most challenging aspect for global religious and intellectuals' mind to heal the world of hatred and create space and environment to inculcate love, peace, and harmony. One of the leading personalities trying to make differences is His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama Gyawa Tenzin Gyamtso. The world stood witness to the Chinese malevolence and invasion during the mid-20th century. Tibet, a secular and peaceful country, was annexed under the force of Chinese military brutality. The Dalai Lama, then merely 23 years old, had to leave his country and live in exile ever since. However, it is the nature of his matured insight to the Chinese aggression and approach to the freedom that changed the outlook of the world leaders. The Afghan, Syrian, Iraqi, and many more conflicts around the world are living examples of the consequences and aftermath. Every conflict has witnessed involvement of power blocks which oppose peace to reach a climax never imagined. These nations are today labeled as totally failed states. All that is left of the ravaged nation is poverty, death, and internal conflicts. The fate of Tibet could have easily followed the same path as a customized approach in those circumstances. Yet, Tibet has saved itself from such fate even at a cost of restricted human rights and freedom. The Dalai Lama's adoption of non-violent approach saved the country from its physical devastation and the deaths of its civilians. The Tibetan culture and its values are prevalent stronger than ever, with a vibrant, modern, and educated masses. An independent Tibet in the future would be a nation built on the foundation of tolerance, empathy, compassion, and patience, a virtue of a strong and vibrant global power. The Dalai Lama's position as the head of the Tibetan form of Buddhism came under tremendous pressure after the annexation. It was a challenge to recover and assimilate the religion right from its very foundation in a new country. Further, conceptualizing the enormous task of bringing different sects of Tibetan Buddhism, including Buddhism religion, under one roof in exile was even more difficult proposition. Yet, through His Holiness's holistic approach and far-sightedness, Tibetan Buddhism has flourished beyond the level envisioned. All the four sects of Buddhism, along with Buddhism religion, by the virtue of liberal atmosphere to grow, played a vital role in these under the guidance of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama's approach and respect for other religion has also been a major factor in developing religious tolerance. He has propagated the message of oneness towards all sentient beings, through different forms of religion's message of love and compassion. He has always abstained from criticizing any form of religion and participates in global religious meets. His Holiness also maintains very close personal contacts and relation with all major religious heads. He wholeheartedly supports and echoes their effort for maintaining global peace and harmony. The Nobel Peace Prize accorded to him is the testimony of the global appreciation and the acknowledgement for his efforts and noble intention. As we may see this, His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, receiving the award on 10th December 1989 in Norway. His Holiness's message and compassion has been revelation and a breath of fresh air in the present era of competition and non-attachment. Upon being interviewed, why he reserves compassion for the Chinese who forcefully occupied his country, and how could he live in peace? He replied, I quote, "It is only through dialogue with Chinese and birth of compassion in their heart. The freedom of Tibet is possible without bloodbath." Laughingly he said, I quote, "Chinese have taken everything from me, so why would I sacrifice my sleep for them as well?" I unquote. His practical thinking combined with the message of tolerance, peace, harmony, compassion, and empathy is the medicine in the world, and the world leaders must release to acquire. Buddhism and its virtues have reached every corner of the globe through the continuous efforts of compassionate and learned teachers under the guidance of His Holiness, the great 14th Dalai Lama. He has succeeded in changing the mindset of the people. Today, more and more populations are drawn towards its philosophy of promoting peace, harmony, and tolerance. Religion being the glue binding faith and outlook has an important role to play. Parallel global activities of all religions in promoting peace and brotherhood to envisage a safe and peaceful world should be the agenda in today's volatile environment. Mistakes and aggression committed must be settled peacefully. Deliberation on all levels must be made to ensure its success. In the present world full of nuclear power, the power of compassion, peace, and harmony must be harvested. As we can see, Ashoka, one of the greatest empires of ancient India, after Kalinga War, embraced peace. He was pioneer in spreading compassion across the globe under the influence and impact of Shakyamuni Buddha. The world has over the course of time changed for the worse. The need and emergence of numerous compassionate leaders like Ashoka has grown. Even so more, the world requires many Buddha for guidance. His Holiness, the great 14th Dalai Lama, through his activity, is undoubtedly one of the living Buddha of our modern era, working tirelessly to help realize a world conducive for all sentient beings to live in peace and harmony. I, as a meager sentient being who envisioned the dream to live in a society free of hatred and intolerance, cannot be thankful enough to the efforts put in by His Holiness, the great 14th Dalai Lama, trying to sow the seed of compassion and oneness. Last, yet most importantly, may the Dalai Lama's message and teachings benefit the entire sentient beings of this cyclic existence and may be bestowed with long life for accomplishing his goals for achieving universal peace backed by bodhicitta mind. I would like to conclude my small talk, whatever I have seen with my fragile eyes, with a prayer. 강리로의 거루의 신감수 펜나한데와 말류 중회네 제네스와 땡생야소의 샤베스데 파도 땡규르치 라마고 감 상와라 사와데 촉도 구세링라 사와 tinle tarshin gebra sawade lamadan jalwa membra chingi labdoso pelden lame nambara tharbala kejik samyan lokda megeshin chizele pra thongwe megigi lame chinlap samla jukbra shu kewa kondo yangda lamana jelme chuge pela longjiji sadang lamge yondan rabzok ne palden lame kompang yondu shu temba jikden kamsu chomba temba nyewe shindo sawada tenzen ponu shindo temba ye temba yuring nebe tashi sho. Have a nice evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much everyone for your big round of applause.